Hello. Hi, Maura. How are you, my dear? I'm just going to wait for a few minutes. I decided to do this tonight after hearing this morning that the Supreme Court had overturned Roe versus Wade. And it's like, well, yeah, that's people that going down about as well as a fart in an elevator, basically. Not that I think I'm particularly funny there. I'm not. I just think it's disgusting. So I thought I'd do some readings on what it all means and stuff. And I'm going to be here for a while. Hi, Libra lady. So we can look at some questions about it. I did a FootPrint special, erosion of rights, and you'll have seen the cover that I put up there. The picture that I put for the thing, which I think is has a few sly hints to it. The beach and pills were apparently used. One of the things that you could use, I put the medieval picture of the church. To me, it's like, oh, they're asking their blessings, like, but all these women and the church is going a pox on you, the pox being, you don't have any rights, that being the pox. Then I put a old woman's workshop, for want of a better, and then I put up a picture of a book I found this really, really interesting. It was by Dr. William Buchan, and I just had a look when this book was published, and I'll talk a little bit more about that book later. I was watching Mel Durr, and he came on, and he was he read out one of the reasonings, and it said there's nothing in the Constitution or in the history of America as a nation, or some sort of phrasing like that, that says that this is a common practice, that this is a practice. Well, I got news for you. This book is proof that, there is stuff in the history of America. In fact, this book was around when America was formed. And so I think it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be here for a few hours. I've just thought, see who'd like to come in and join, can come and go as they like. And so it's going to be, yes, I live in a different country. I live in Australia, but there are nutters like this in Australia who, right-wing people and ultra-conservatives who want to do this in Australia as well. And there's none in other countries who want to do the same thing in other countries. And, there are countries where it's always been a right to get an abortion. Australia hasn't been one of them. I mean, in the 1920s here in Australia, you couldn't, it was illegal to get an abortion. You would end up in jail, up to 15 years in jail for getting an abortion, and yeah. It is very disheartening, and I'm going to be looking at hopefully doing some uplifting and healing cards as well. I'm 55. I can't have children anymore. I couldn't have children. And to me, a child would be a blessing, but I would never, ever think to tell another woman that she had to have the child that I wasn't able to have. That's ridiculous. No way. I would have loved to have had a bub. I would have loved to have had a little one, but it just didn't work out. But there's no way I would ever tell a child that just because I couldn't, you had to. That's, and sometimes, and it's like, adoption wasn't for us either, or fostering, but it's just like, yeah, I would never tell. That's not my place. Full on marks for CNN. Anna Kavaris, I think she is in Florida. She's a CNN commentator, and she said she's Catholic. She wouldn't get an abortion or that, and they've had members of their family that they've had to bring up and help, and it's been hard. But she said she's Catholic in a church and she's Catholic in her family, but she would never tell anybody else, you can't do this. Being Catholic doesn't mean you automatically think it's your right to tell somebody else what you took. Yeah. Oh, Thomas also mentioned gay marriage as well. Yeah, I'll look at birth control. Just wait for a few more minutes, okay? I know that Thomas mentioned gay marriage being next. That man's going to go, because I think that there's going to be they're going to target gay marriage, birth control. Yeah, I was on the pill for years and years. I was watching SNL and I came across a sketch called The Handmaid's Tale in the City, and it's like not my sort of taste. I've never seen that show, but I thought, oh, unfortunately, it really was a precursor, wasn't it? Yeah. Will Biden bring on more justices? He doesn't want to. Hi, Bonnie Russell. I froze up there for a minute, so yeah. If I freeze up again, I'll see what I can do. But hi, Bonnie Russell. So we'll bring in more justices. Will R.V. Wade be codified? What effect will this have on voting? And I was talking to a couple of people today, and there was I cannot remember his name, but he was an ex-Republican. He a journalist, and he says what needs to happen with the Republican. Hi, Kat. Is something that I've been talking about for a couple of years. It's got to go right down to the local grassroots level. You've got to get these people out. So if you are in a position to put your hand up and go, and I understand it varies from place to place, but you have to go and get so many signatures and all that before you can put your hand up for some offices. Yeah, go and run if you can, if you got the time, or go and run in some of these local positions. Get rid of these assholes in local positions, because grassroots up, you get rid of them at a local position, and then yeah. So yeah, what effect will this have on the midterms? Yeah. And how are you, Kat? I hope you're okay. Yeah. I'll be back on again tomorrow morning, my time as well, which is Saturday night, your time, and I'll do some single card readings then. But tonight, I'm just going to look at some of the issues. I'm waiting for some more people to join us. Yeah. And yeah. Hi, Hagar. How are you? What and who is next? So obviously, I got the hint by the title and the thing that I decided to schedule this after I woke up this morning and saw the news about Roe v. Wade, and got some of the hints. I wasn't going to come out, and put in big letters what this is about. And yeah, the book is the most interesting thing. So yeah. So I'm not doing single card reads tonight, but will there be? Yes, there's lots of things. Term limits for SCOTUS. So and how about reps and senators as well? Well, and will they eventually mandatory retirement? I think a few companies are going to withdraw from some of these states. Apparently 26 states have trigger laws. I know that Kentucky's governor is a Democrat, but will he veto? I hope he'll veto it. Any trigger laws they try to bring into place. He can say, no, I'm not going to sign it. So will Kentucky's governor veto? Been a while for you getting some rain. Well, I'm really glad you're getting some rain. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I'm here for. I've set aside 3 hours till midday Eastern US time for people to come in and join and hop in the chat or go away during that time. So yeah, there's so many things. Also, like, will this decision be seen by some in Australia as an excuse to clamp down on abortions? Hi, Wendy. It's just so many, like, we've got this whole list already to look at. Yeah, like I said, I've called this session an erosion of rights. Yes. Yeah. They need to say, and even more, they need to go and, get out there, put their hand up, go and get signatures and run for office themselves. A lot of these people started in local offices, run for office, get them out, even at the grassroots level, at the council level, at the city level. Getting DAs who will say, I'm not going to prosecute these. And there's already been some attorney generals and district attorneys who have said in some of these states, well, I'm not going to prosecute, and there's 24 states who don't have trigger laws and I was watching a thing they're expected to have to absorb patients from 50 states. Over double the number of, there's talk of opening up some clinics really close to borders. Somebody was saying, "Oh, well, women are going to be arrested if they travel out of state and get an abortion. Are they going to be arrested when they come back? And things like that. There's all sorts of things, and it's just a terrible, terrible decision." Yeah. Yes, it was really good to see the stories with the men marching as well. The world's medicine. Yeah. I'm not. Oh my goodness! I'm really sorry for the yawn, guys. It's a bit late over here, but I wanted to, be here for you guys as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a friend who went through an ectopic pregnancy. It was, oh my God, it was just awful. She almost died. And if they hadn't gotten her, if they'd have been 10 minutes later or so and getting her to the hospital, she probably would have, and it's like, oh my goodness. So, so I've put up my usual for entertainment purposes only YouTube. But yeah, there's so much. I want to have a look at Thomas and Kavanaugh and even Roberts. And yeah. And I saw Justice Sotomayor, she was addressing one after the thing, and she said it's disappointing. A lot of hard work went into defending this. She said, "Well, I've just got to brush myself off, stand up, and keep on going." And she said to the crowd there, "Let's fight." And I think that was really, really good. Let's fight, she said. Let's fight. And so I'm hoping that people see that and they take that let's fight and not violence or anything. Will there be violence? That's yeah. Stack the courts after midterm. Yeah. I think this will I am going to read on what effect this will have at the midterms. And people are angry. People are angry, and and as I said, Biden has proved that he's Catholic. While he doesn't approve of abortion, he thinks people should have the right to make their own decisions and all that. So it's like he's and like that CNN commentator I was telling you about, she's like, who is she to tell somebody from other religions? And there's a lot of religions where abortion is not even thought of as, wrong, what they can and can't do. And she's like, no, what applies to me because of my religion doesn't mean I have the right to make other people, follow it. And and I think there's a lot of people who are like that, so it's yeah. I was looking at some news stories, paper headlines, and back in the 1920s, apparently, and I only saw the headlines, so I don't know what country this paper was from, but it says you can go to jail, you can charge for murder if you had a miscarriage. I was like, oh my Lord. So that's just so wrong. So I'm gonna make a bit of a start, and what else is he gonna go after? And Liberal Lady, she asked, will they go after birth control next, like the pill? And this is so wrong. But firstly, I'm going to go universal spirit and guide to the highest truth and compassion. Please give me the access. Your energy, sphere of protection, being placed over this house, myself, my husband, and our fur babies. I ask that the sphere of protection keep negative energy and ill intent at bay and allow only positive and loving energy to grow and foster within. Universal spirit and guide to the highest truth and compassion. Ask for your access to your wisdom and knowledge, the Akashic records and all higher forms of knowledge. I do this without and divine clarity, insight, and objectivity into the questions I may pose. So, yeah. Hi, Steve. Yes. Yeah, that is true, Steve. So are they going to go after birth control yet next? And here's the Knight of Pentacles. Now this can be seen as two ways. Yes, they want to stop it, or the mercenary. Now, pharmaceutical companies, I think, are going to be coming, because where does a lot of the, some of the pills and the medication that comes? Apparently, you'll still be able to order in the medication and have it delivered, but that's still dangerous, taking medication at home to do it. Yeah, they don't want to piss off the pharmaceutical companies, and if they start going to ban these medications and the pill, they're going to piss off the pharmaceutical companies. And Five of Swords. So on that particular thing, I think they would be facing defeat, unless they say doctors can't dispense it, but you can order it overnight. But you need a prescription, and it's like, I think they really, really want to, especially Thomas, who's just, that man. He just, Ace of Cups. This is deep water. Often you see in other decks with the cup sitting over a lake, and a lake often means hidden terms. And I think they're hoping somebody will bring up a case for it, but will they go after contraception pills? They certainly, yeah. Righteousness might override greed, but this is something that some of them really want to go after. That they need a case to come before them to do that. They can't just bring a case themselves. So are they going to try and get someone to bring a case? Yeah. What they want is somebody who will bring a case against the companies. But Would it reach them if they did? Six of Swords, it would have a really, really hard time getting off the grounds. So, yeah. Oh, yes. What about interracial marriages? Yeah. He would have been thrown in jail for marrying a white woman. You know, that's, yeah. Yeah, he definitely hinted at, the contraception. And what are they going to go? Is he going to try and go after gay marriage next? And there will be, a lot of these people, gay marriages and all that, abortion's wrong, but a lot of them probably still take the pill, a lot of the women and all that. Or, it's like, okay, you're a young male, you've gone through puberty, we're going to make you tie a knot in it till you're old enough and responsible enough. Oh, well, can you imagine the uproar of that? We're going to make you tie a knot in it till you're 30 and you've got some manners. Whoa. Yeah, he's definitely going to go after that. And he's going to be one of the driving forces between that. I was watching K-Part and Gersha. Hi, Alexandra Bellino. Hello. And K-Part was saying, he's facing the possibility now of being told that his marriage isn't legal. And it's like, because these guys, pricks like this, the Hierophant, yeah, it's not within the doctrines of what they deem as acceptable. 647 million last year. Yeah, the government want that. There's never really been a separation of church and state in the US because actually, there's this thing that says tax the churches. Now, one of the reasons they don't get taxed is it's supposed to reinforce that separation of church and state. If the churches get taxed, then they can say, well, we are taxpayers and we have, you should listen to us as well. Will any major corporations pull out of these draconian states? Let's have a look. But then they'll say, we pay the taxes, so you have to listen to us. And it's like, will any major corporations pull out of these draconian states? Yes. Here's the captains of industry. The kings of pentacles, the captains of industry. Eight of Swords. Yeah. Either that or they will restrict what business they do with the state. In some cases, they, they might impose restrictions. And Six of Pentacles. Yeah. I think at the very least, pharmaceutical companies should pull their plants and stuff out of those states. But yes, there is going to be some corporations will do that. Six of Pentacles and sort of an evening of the scales. And if they can't pull out altogether, they might restrict, cut down on and restrict to the bare minimum the business they do with some of these states. Mel Durr, I watched him and he was reading from The Decision, and a particular phrase was used. Trying to remember what he said. He said it was not a constitutional right, nor was it the right to abortion, nor what that was the right to abortion a historical practice in the US. It's something like that. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Justice with Alito decision draft. Phrase historical. Now they had the leak, right? And okay. Mel had he was reading the decision. Yeah, and no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision. Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember the what he said. Not the draft opinion. Okay. Yes, thank you. I always put up the that disclaimer, but thank you for putting that. Anyway, he used the term applying some historical precedents to the right for women to choose, abortion has no historical basis in since the country has been formed. So I'm going to share my screen because I came across something. And if you've seen the thumbnail that I put up, you'll have seen the book there. So I'm going to share my screen here. come on. Close that. Anyway, you can see it there. And this is a book of domestic medicine or the family physician by Dr. William Buchan. And it is to render the medical art more generally useful by showing people what is in their own power, both with respect to the prevention and cure of diseases. Calculated to recommend proper attention to regimen and simple medicines. So it is within their own power. Now, it doesn't specifically say that, but this book, guys, was written in 1774. So no historical precedent in the country's history. My friggin' ass! Yeah, that is just bull dust, absolute bull dust. So yeah, I reckon people should grab when it was printed and show it. And it also has in it, hang on, and I think I put it on the thing. It has included instructions to eliminate obstructed menses, a euphemism for early pregnancy. So that was included in this book. So I'm thinking, yeah, that sinks that argument. And honestly, it's anyway. What's my 2 cents? Was it a line too far? Absolutely. Before we move on, I want to have a look at this decision and how and whether or not someone is going to try and use it here in Australia, because there's a whole group of Australia who wants to ban abortion, a whole group over here who wants to ban access to abortions in Australia and all that. So I'm going to have a look at that, and then we'll move back to, I've looked at gay marriage, I've looked at thing, but I just thought it was really interesting when I saw that book and read that passage on that book. It's like, well, yeah. So, so you'll hear the passage that he said, and yeah, this book was written in 1774. So, are there people in Australia who are going to try and use this? Oh, absolutely. They're going to try and use it. Yeah, going to try and bring cases before the judge, because someone will bring a case and they'll say, well, the Supreme Court in America, but they're dealing with the American Constitution. 9 of Cups. Yeah, there's definitely people who want to use what's happened in America here in Australia. Oh, Alexandra, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, my darling. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting and stuff, and it really is. Thank you for that, Alexandra. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That you love spending time with me it's such a lovely compliment. Thank you. And thank you for the donation too. Now we're going to go back and have a look. So I've done a quick read there. So will Biden introduce more judges? Will he begin to stack the courts after the midterms? he's not in favour of that. I don't think he's in favour of that. But if a couple of these guys don't resign, he may feel he'll have to. So if he has to, will he sack the courts? Yes, and he won't waste a lot of time about it. He'll let them get settled in, but I think probably by the time the first quarter is over in 2023, he'll have some more justices in there, at least 2 more. So this is the Eight of Wands. Yeah. And I've heard some people say, why doesn't he just sign an executive order for this or sign an executive order for that? I saw a clip of him once that said, executive orders can be really good. They can be a great tool. But if you overuse them, you're stepping into abuse of office. So he's very, very wary about executive orders. Yeah. So, yes, there's definitely going to be, and this is as a consequence of this, he will make that decision. Yeah, definitely. Will the filibuster be modified? They're never going to get rid of it. I've got no. It's not going to be gotten rid of, but this is also the Ten of Swords, which is the end of something with new lines. So currently they have to get 60 votes. Will they bring down the number? I keep getting 55 in there. So here's the maybe for the Hierophant. So will they bring the filibuster down to 55 votes? Okay, now I've got the Wheel. So I think it could be brought down to as low as 55, but maybe somewhere between 55 and 60, closer to 55. But it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get it there. So a new day after a long dark night of the soul. Yeah, he is limited in what he can do. Yeah, Mitch will block to anybody. Okay, will Roe versus Wade be codified in 2023? Let's have a look at that. Will Roe versus Wade be codified in 2023? Hey, sweetheart. Ooh, hey, that's a good sign. That is a good sign. Yeah, I am. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind a coffee, Bubby. Thank you, darling. That is a good sign that it will be codified. So let's have a look some more. That is also another good card. In 2023, they're going to have everything they need to codify it. They will have all the tools required, which is my interpretation of, one of my interpretations of the Magician is that he's got the cup, he's got the chalice, he's got the sword, he's got the pentacle. He has all the tools needed to manifest what is wanted. So they will have everything they need to manifest this. Yeah, they're going to bring this to an end. So this is the Death card, and you might think, oh, that means that it's not going to get caught. No, this is going to bring about an end to this victimization and attempt to control others. And there's going to be some other things he's going to codify as well. So there's going to be some changes here. Will he codify gay rights? Yeah, there's going to be, this is a maybe card, there's definitely going to be some debate on that, maybe moving towards it. But that's an anxiety, the next few months is going to be an anxious time for people, for gay people, LGBTQ. They're already messing with trans and services to trans people and all that. And I saw sidetrack. I saw an interview with Elliot Page, and I'm like, oh, okay. Elliot has years. Was if I'm right in understanding, was the star of Juno, Ellen Page, and has gone through the transaction and is now Elliot, and good on him. And yeah, and I don't watch things like the Umbrella Academy. It's just not that I don't know much about the show or anything. It's just not my sort of thing that attracts that I watch. But really, really good to see people coming and saying, hey, look, I think I'm right in thinking that Elliot used to be Ellen, and star of that movie Juno and stuff, and a wonderfully gifted actor. To me, they're all actors, whether they're male or female. I don't see why it should be actress and actor. It should just be actor or thespian, whatever, But anyway, that's just me. Don't let me get off things. So what else have we got here? Gates. What do they're going to do? Run around the country collecting everybody, retroactive, impossible to implement. Yeah. I'll be having a look at Gates and some of his friends tomorrow. Tonight, I'm just here to have a look at this issue and some of the questions that have arisen out of it. I got a notification on my Twitter. I don't use it a lot, for something called RSBN or something, and a message from the 45th president of the United States, and I just very quickly skimmed it, and it was just sickening, saying he was responsible for it as well as God. He was responsible for it happening, and then all these, the usual suspects saying life wins, life doesn't win. Yeah. Yeah. Night, Bonnie. And thank you for joining us. Well, it's morning, isn't it, over there? It never hurts to repeat the disclaimer, and for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. And for entertainment purposes only, this is Chrissy from FootPrint Tarot saying to all the justices who might be listening and who supported this disgusting move, go and F yourself. And then when you find yourself pregnant with your own babies, try and get help. Alien babies. Yeah, that's all right, Alexandra. Collecting everybody retroactive. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah. No, Gates is an idiot. So, I think there's a bit of I think the good old Helen Reddy anthem should make a bit of a comeback. Get out there and start singing that. No, thank you, my darling.
Yeah, well, there you go.
When are you going to bed, sweetie?
Oh, I've had another 40 minutes.
Okay.
What's it? New one had Lazarus Project.
All right, yeah.
Another episode. I'm hooked.
I think they can go back in time to just before events happening or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Again, not my sort of movie. This TV show he's talking about. So, it's just, you just watched a new movie called I Am Woman, Perfect Timing. Yeah. Helen Reddy, she is Australian and she was brought up over here and she was told she wasn't pretty enough and that her voice was not good enough. So she then, and we've got early videos of her. So she went and went over to the US and look what she did. Good on her, Always loved her music and her songs. Ruby Red Dress. Now, that's another song. Leave Me Alone, I think the tagline. Let's have a look. Hang on a minute. Just want to have a look. Lyrics. Leave Me Alone. Yeah, Ruby Red Dress. Song by Helen Reddy. And let's have a look at the lyrics. Big old Ruby Red Dress. Wanders round the town talking to herself now, sometimes sitting down. Don't you get too close now, Ruby runs away. Poor old Ruby Red Dress, born on a sorry day. And it's interesting when you got the Handmaid's Tale with people wearing the red capes. Go and look at the lyrics of Ruby Dress. Yeah. So, yeah, go and look at some Helen Reddy songs. They rock. And they tell stories too. So, yeah, Leave Me Alone, it's called, or Ruby Red Dress. And then there's, of course, I Am Woman and stuff like that. So, yeah. I think that movie might have been about Helen Reddy, actually. Yeah. So let's go on. Let's have a look at the list. I'm going to have a longer look now at what effect this will have in the midterms. I'm just going to look for the right deck. You know me, I can be very picky about what deck I use. So now I'm going to see the next thing down is what effect will this have in the midterms? So will this anger carry for the next 4 and a bit months? So how angry are people? The Queen of Cups, here she is. Soft, gentle, motherly. The lid is going to come off. You're late, Maura. Oh, I thought you were still here. I said hello earlier. So you went away for a while and came back. Oh, that's fine. So I'm looking at what effect this is going to have on the midterms, and I'm starting off with the thing: how angry are people? And so we've got the Queen of Cups here. And I'm going to use a different couple of cards here. And I've got the Sibylla card here. So Sibylla deck. And so we've got the Mother. And the lid is on. The emotions are tamped down. But what can the Sibylla tell us about this, the effect of this? Pleasant pastime. Okay. That is interesting. And the Two of Diamonds is the Two of Pentacles, manipulation. It's like they're feeling like they're being manipulated, and they're just being treated as playthings. Does that make sense? The Queen of Cups, this is the women and how they're feeling. And so I've put a Sibylla card down on that, and it's the Two of Diamonds and pleasant pastime. And like they're just plaything and manipulation. And you know, the Two of Diamonds is the equivalent is the Two of Pentacles, and it's just a plaything. Yeah. So what action are they looking to take in the immediate? I'm not talking about midterms yet. I will get to the midterms, but I'm using this to take a different look at things. So what actions are they going to take in the Two of Cups, joining of two people? Commitment. And this has got, interestingly enough, it's got the sword, the medical sword attached to it. So commitment to, in this case, a cause. So what Sibylla card, what Sibylla card's going to come out to give me some clarification on this? A lot of money. Okay. Fundraising, definitely fundraising. Plus also a build-up of energy, because it's got the clubs here, which is wands, the Ace of Clubs, the Ace of Wands, a build-up on energy. I'm raising money. I was looking for this deck earlier too. This is another, it's an everyday oracle. It's a form of Sibylla too, but there's, you know, a couple of different Sibylla decks. So I'm going to go back to the Queen of Cups, the women, the Mother. Also, a Cups is about medicine as well, and the anger, the feeling of just being treated like second-class citizens, like they're there. What's the second? I'm doing multi-card readings, I suppose you could say. La Amica. F4. I do use the books here for this one. Friend, confident, guest, relationship of trust. So I'm getting like feeling like they're being treated like playthings. And this is a real big breach of trust. So, you know, that relationship, it can't be relied upon. A real breach of trust. A little book here. Yeah. So now we're back to this. Hi, Aria song. And I'm just winging it here. I'm interested to see what some of the other cards say. And the commitment, and then there's money and a build-up of energy with the clubs, which is the wands, and the ace of clubs up here in the corner here, and a build-up of energy. So what does the everyday oracle? Oh, something flipped over. La Superbia, the peacock, preening, showing itself. Haughtiness. Yep. And arrogance, vanity, arrogance. So it's going to start a real, I feel like this is people coming together in small groups and getting bigger and bigger, and that energy building and real anger at the haughtiness of these people. So what action will they take? So there's anger, there's renew for commitment, there's, you know, a building up of what action will they take? Apart from voting, of course. Death. Okay. Situation, death of a situation or endings and new beginnings. So they're going to, this isn't saying that they're going to, you know, go and people and stuff, but people are really angry and they want this change, and they're going to take actions that will bring about a change that cannot be reversed. So let's have a look at what the second Sibylla is. The first Sibylla card says. I don't know if any of this makes any sense. I am just winging it here. Interested in seeing what the different cards say. How are you, Maureen? How are you? An aria song. What have we got here? A lawyer. Yep. Courts. There are going to be cases. The King of Spades, which is the King of Swords. This could be the prosecutors as well. So, but they're going to, yeah. And Donna Maritata. It's the mother. Donna Maritata. 12. Oh, hello. I'll just double check that. That's a P. Okay, no, I got the wrong letter. Yeah, married woman. Respect or attraction towards the mother of a family. So respect. People are gonna. This is women, married women, respectful women, coming out and yeah. This was an experiment, but overall, I'm getting. Just building up of energy, anger, being felt like felt a feeling of just being regarded as worthless, as playthings, as throwaway things, as breeders, and they want this crap ended once and for all. And there's definitely going to be a lot of court cases happening. I know there's already been some people who've said they're not going to prosecute those things and stuff. But yeah, so that was an interesting experiment. I don't know that it really said much. But I thought it'd be interesting to do and see what some of the other cards said about this decision as well. It's certainly an arrogant position. It was a betrayal, and it was the decision was about putting women in their place as well, and it was about a betrayal and a very arrogant decision. So when I just saw those three cards on their own without this, it really came together what they feel that this decision was about: arrogance, betrayal, not treating women right, and trying to put them in the place they think they should be. Honestly, some of these guys, if they could ban women from working, they would. You know, once you got married in Australia back in the 50s and 60s, you weren't allowed to work. You were expected to stop working. I don't know if you had to, if you were in a government job, you had to stop working. But yes, I just thought that was interesting. It's a bit of a not so successful look at things, that one. But there's women and committing to bringing an end to this injustice. That also comes out too. So yeah. Just excuse me for a minute. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I just had to check something. Hi, Patricia Francino. So I had a look at that. Now let's have a look at a proper look at how it's going to affect the midterms. So I might use the Kipper for that. If I can find the cards. Oh my goodness, I've got cards all over the place at the moment. Oh, sorry, my darling. I think I'm not going to be able to do that. Let's have a look at Lenormand. And what they say about how it's going to impact the midterms. I don't have enough of the desk cleared for the kippers either. Let's have a look at, bring out the Lenormand. We'll do a 9-card spread. Past, present, future. Thought, environment, and what's the other one? Contributing factors. So let's have a look. So I'm doing a 9-card grid. The first column is past, then there's present, and then there's future. Across there is thoughts, environment, and contributing factors. So the past is the decision that's just been made. The present is the present reaction, and the future is future reaction. So this is going to be interesting. I haven't had the Lenormand cards out in a while, so it's going to be looking forward to looking at this. So I've got them all face down, guys, so I can't see them. And I'm going to look at the thought for the past. Shining stars in the bright sky, bodes joy from afar where happiness lies. In starlight dreams come true, hope and sight is success in view. Now, this is interesting because people were hoping, hey, Apple, people were hoping that one of the justices would change their mind, or a couple of them would change their mind. This is in the past position. Hope is in the past with that. Okay. So that didn't happen. What is at present on their thoughts? The stork. Oh, how appropriate. The stork in flight promises delight. A stork in range signals change. Progress heals pain, drawn from the past, embraces kindness, and new friendships will last. Well, I'm going to have a look at the book for that because that doesn't make any sense. The stork is progress heals pain, drawn from the past. So that's interesting. So we've got 16 and 17 next to each other. When this card is near the querent card, it suggests a change of abode or a lover. If this card is far away, it suggests change may be delayed or postponed indefinitely. Wow. Delayed change could be people are thinking we're not going to be able to, because this is the top row, thought, we're not going to be able to do anything at the moment. But what's happened, what's in the future? What is the thought for the future? The clover. Good luck. Flowers surrounded in clover leaf means happiness surmounted over grief. Happiness over grief. Bits of luck and fortune await. You have the potential to make life great. What does the book say about clover? Like I said, I'm using the book because I have not used these cards in ages. So this is in the future, luck in the future. If the card is near the querent card, it signifies that the present misfortune and sorrow will soon disappear. And good luck is weakened. Yeah. So the stork is getting ready to move forward, okay, from the past. And then the clover moving towards the good luck of the clover. So this is thought. This is what people are thinking. Things are going to be delayed for a while and stop for a while, but we have to move forward and keep fighting. And then in the future, which could be a couple of months down the track, it's a change of fortune. Okay, so that's the thought row. Now we're coming down to the environment row. In the environment for the past, a ship. A ship carrying gold sails straight into view. Lined in its hold are fortunes for you. If you should travel with a special friend, memories unfurl for years upon end. This could be the need to travel to get people preparing to have to travel to go and get abortions, which they shouldn't have to. There was an opportunity in the past, but it didn't happen. And the ship can also mean an opportunity. Unexpected setbacks. Yeah. So again, the setbacks. The ship is sailing towards the past. It's interesting because the middle card is the present and the ship is facing away from the present towards the past. So a step backwards in the environment. So that's the environment one is of trying to wind back the clock. What's in the environment at the present? Well, unsurprisingly, we have the child. When a sweet child smiles your way, innocence brings joys to fill your day. Friends are many, enemies a few. Embrace a fresh start in all you do. Now, this is interesting. At the present, the environment is, you have to embrace it. This is a fresh chance for America, some idiots are saying. But let's go deeper into the child card. And it says, this card suggests that the querent needs to embrace a new start with a youthful attitude. Yeah, that is, you just have to embrace the decision. Yeah. Pee off. Yeah. The current is pure heart and honest person. This is, honestly, there are some people out there who think, this is all good and we're all innocent, you're bad people and all we innocent things. And it's like they're giving the big bug eyes to people, saying we did the right thing. It's like, no, this is not a fresh start for America. And a lot of them think it's a fresh start for America. It's not a fresh start for America. So there's this environment and then there's a lot of people who I suppose you could take it that there's two children here. There's this little one saying, but I'm innocent. I just did what I thought was right. And this one saying, what the hell? This one in the top corner is not looking happy. So there's this clash of the two views that is very much in the environment at the moment. What is going to be in the environment in the future? A book. The unopened book weaves stories concealed. When pages are read, the truth is revealed. The book guards tales of inner emotion. Blessed are the words of deep devotion. Interesting. The book can be about secrets. It can be about knowledge. This closed book holds knowledge or a secret. The closer to the querent card, the more significant the secret. The secret may be favorable or unfavorable depending on the surroundings. Now, this is favorable for a change. Things coming out. What could be favorable in the future is this could be stuff coming out that could force a couple of justices to leave. Thomas is going to try and hang on till the election because he believes that Republicans are going to win and then he can retire and he'll know that somebody in his ilk will be appointed. That's what he thinks at any rate. I suppose the querent would be the child in the middle. you know. So, and the future for the children, in America. So, and the death of innocence. Okay, in the past, now that we've got contributing factors, which is the bottom row. Across, this is usually a cross weaves pain, historically sad. A distance too close means tidings are bad. Suffering increases when the cross is near, but burdens can lift if you persevere. Yeah, it's definitely a burden. A burden. And bad tidings in the past. In the past was the decision that was made. At the present, which is the day after, oh my goodness, a contributing. So this is the burden of basically conservatism and hypocrites and that sort of burden, you know. And that was a 36 of imminent suffering because the troubles will have to be overcome. Yeah. Sacrifices need to be made to turn the situation around. Yeah, and this is like God, it's Roe versus Wade, the sacrifice that had to be made to wake people up and get them angry enough to get rid of some of these shitty people? I could hope not. But at the moment, the contributing factor to the situation at the moment is illness, the 8, which is the coffin. Illness is known, sickness is near, fate has its own ending to fear. You lose your money or is hopeless to you, and what is the saddest? Your courage fails too. No, the courage is not going to fail. There's a feeling that this is the final lid in the coffin for Roe versus Wade. This is the contributing factor to the end of it at the moment. And that feeling is there. This is the contributing factor. And yeah, but people are thinking we've got to move on. This card signifies sickness, loss of money, and eventually loss of courage to meet and overcome problems. Yeah. There's a feeling like this could be too big a problem to overcome in some places. That's not true. What's in the future? But for contributing factors, because we've got some good signs in the future. The key. Oh my goodness. Inspiration unblocks the door. Solutions are the key to success and more. Miracles and insights are easy to trace once the final piece tumbles into place. The key is evidence. The book is secret. A change of luck. This situation will be resolved in the future. Signifies success in new undertakings and accomplishments of new goals. Wow. So in the past, it's just like bad. At the present, it's a mix. There's frustration here. I can get in like two sides. The pleased little child who gets their way and the frustrated one who knows that what's happened is wrong, that the little child shouldn't have gotten their way because they're a little brat bag. And yeah, and a feeling like, yeah, at the moment there's nothing that can be done. That's that nail in the coffin here, that feeling at the present. But in the future, some changes happening. So, as I said, I have not done Lenormand for quite a while, so it was very interesting to get these cards out and have a look at that. So that's sort of in the atmosphere. Some more of what the Lenormand have to say about this. But now I'm going to move forward to the actual midterm elections. How will this affect the midterm elections? So we'll go back to the tarot. If you've got some questions to ask, please do. I've still got quite a few to go through. Term limits for SCOTUS, representatives and senators, mandatory retirement, trigger laws. The Kentucky governor, is he going to veto some of these? Thomas Kavanaugh Roberts. Will there be violence? I don't really want to encourage that, but will there be unrest? We'll go with. I just got distracted by a thought, and it's not. Yeah. I'm just going to ground myself back. It was just a total thought that's got nothing to do with this, okay? So ground myself. Feel the wood under my hands. Okay. What is this going to mean for the midterm elections? Will this see the Democrats a bigger wave than, will this see a bigger blue wave, like a big blue wave like they had last time? Energy, passion, inspired action, adventure, impulsiveness. So the energy and the passion that is behind this is going to, and you see the horse is being held back. So it's going to be a surge of blue. I'm even seeing some Republicans voting blue down the line. Or independent at the very least. They vote independent and not Republican. That splits up the Republican vote so that the blue Democrats are likely to take more. Hi, Kathy W. So what is this going to have? What effect is this going to have on the midterm elections? Self-compassion, inner feelings, moodiness, emotionally manipulative. This is the King of Cups. And it's reversed. So this deck has reversed. Upright, it's emotionally balanced, compassionate, and diplomatic. There's no diplomacy here. This is people are angry and they're off balance, and they're not going to feel that anger leave until they've done their bit to get rid of some of these people, if that makes sense. The midterms, how it's going to affect them. Contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, meditation, apathy, it's going to shake some people out of their apathy about voting. And yet, please, guys, you don't need me telling you to do everything you can to get people. There's still time to register to vote. So it's going to shake some people out of their apathy and say, no, this is not good enough. And it's going to make some people reevaluate who they've been voting for. And at the very least, they might, if they can't bring themselves to vote Democrat, they might vote independent or just not vote for some of these people at all. So it's definitely going to shake up some apathy. An end, mortality, destruction, corruption. What do they mean by that? How's it going to bring an end to what? Is this an end to the Trumpist Republicans, the Trumplicans? Doing it all, carrying the burden, delegation, and release. With the 10 of Wands. So we've got the Death card here, and the 10 of Wands reversed. Carrying the burden. Delegation. They're going to delegate the blame where it belongs, I think. Lack of long-term vision, limited success or reward. How is it going to affect is this the Republicans that this is these two are about? Is this the Republicans? I'll get a yes, no clarifier there. So the Death card is an end and a destruction of corruption. And then there's the 10 of Wands, and I asked, is this the Republicans? 10 of Wands reversed, doing it all, carrying the burden. They have to carry the burden. And then I've got the 7 of Pentacles reversed, lack of long-term vision, and limited success or reward. So they're only going to get limited reward. So does this mean that the Republicans are going to get voted out? I can see the Democrats ending up with over 60 votes. The Lovers, that's a yes card. People coming together to get rid of them. Because they asked for a yes or no. So that'll be interesting to see. Now, next on the questions list is, hi Linda B. Are they gonna bring in? So I've read that it's gonna have a big effect on the midterms. Will there be a blue wave? Will the Democrats take the Senate with more than 60 votes? That's what I want to know. With more than 60 seats in the Senate, that would be very interesting. Could they get 60 seats? Hard work, productivity, routine, conservatism. Routine and conservatism. Manifestation, financial opportunity, skill and development. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Concealment, disguise, policy, fear, unreasoned caution. The Hermit reversed. No, I don't know that. I don't think they'll get the 60. But I do feel they might get 55. So, yeah. Okay. Are they going to introduce term limits? We'll start with representatives and senators. Like they can't do more than, if you're a rep, three terms in a row. And if you're a senator, you can only do one or whatever. So things like that. Are they going to introduce term limits? I think they might try. It might be put forward, but will it succeed? I don't know. Have a look. Interesting. We've got the Hanged Man. Change of perspective. A suspension. You might not be able to do so many terms. Like you might only be able to do like 3 terms in a row and then not be able to run again for 2 or 3 terms or whatever. So there'll be a pause between when you finish and when you can run again. Temperance. Yeah, more balance, to bring more balance. Well, they do it with senators as well. Perhaps, maybe. Are they going to introduce a mandatory retirement age? Now, I'm just looking at the House of Representatives and the Senate here at the moment. I'm not looking at SCOTUS yet. So, I got 10 years floating through my mind for SCOTUS. Hello, we have a visitor. Hello, my dear.
How you doing?
Yeah. And, thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm looking at all the ramifications from Roe v. Wade and that decision. And we've been looking at things like, will they go after gay marriage and birth control? Will Biden bring in more justices? Will Roe v. Wade be codified? How will this affect the midterms? And now we're looking at term limits and stuff. I've also looked at whether people here in Australia will try to take advantage of this decision because, you know, there's some people who do that. How are you, my darling? Good?
You doing well yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. It's a bit late, but that's okay. I will be back on again tomorrow morning for my usual Sunday morning stuff. But I just thought it'd be interesting to see what people have, and also went through a couple of things. Like I found the book by Dr. Buchan Buchan, written in 1774, and honestly, this too. One of the justices said there was no historical precedence in American life or American society for abortions being normal. And this book completely puts that to rest.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really, really interesting. And I featured it on the thumbnail I put up. Hi, Viviane. So I'm looking at term limits. I just said, will there be term limits for representatives and for senators? Not necessarily the overall number, but how many they can serve at. How many limits, how many terms can they serve before they have to take so many years off? Like, can they do 3 terms, but then have to not run again for 3 terms and things like that? And that's the sort of thing that came out with that. And with senators, possibly maybe 1 term or 2 terms before they have to step back for 1 term or something like that, so that they can't just get in there and be there for life.
Right.
That's
I
just
just
living
heard
with
4.
people.
I'm sorry. I just heard 4 years in my head, however many terms that is.
Yeah. I looked at 6 years or 3 terms if you're a rep, and maybe 2 if you're a senator, but they should shorten the senators' terms. Maybe they will shorten the senators' terms so that they can be either in a midterm or a presidential have to be voted on again. Will they shorten 10? Is that the magician?
The magician, baby.
So will they shorten senators' terms from 6 years to 4 years? Let's have a look at that. Five of Swords. Oh, that's not looking good for that. That's a defeat. But then there's a change in the place in the world. So a change. We've got the judge, the Queen of Swords. Step forth and answer for your actions. Yeah, they could. I suppose it could happen. I mean, it would have to go through a certain process. Hi, Nancy Cast Tarot. Hello. They're in Tennessee. You've got to go to play mahjong now. Well, thank you for listening. And again, all my lovely lurkers, thank you. And everyone who watches later. I just heard the decision this morning when I woke up, and I thought, I'm going to go on tonight and stuff. And yeah. So, So what do you get about them shortening the Senate terms 4 years?
Well, I got the Ace of Cups first.
Yeah.
And then I got the Knight of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the Lovers. So I'm thinking that that there's wants, there's desires, there's emotions, but there's also money. You know what I mean? And the money is what's going to, I just see money flying off as wands is how I got that. Okay. And that it is pushing forward, but the money might stop them, but they really, let me see what's at the bottom.
Support.
Ace of Coins. The Ace of Coins.
The Ace of Coins, yeah. I've got support for that, but then there's the Queen of Rods, Congress. I mean, it's something that would have to go through Congress and all that sort of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see if that could be done. Yeah. So I was going to have a look at term limits for SCOTUS now. But I want to take a step back now that Melinda's joined us, and I just previously went through and asked, what effect will this decision have on the midterms? Do you want to do a reading on that? And
sure.
Do some cards on that. And Nancy Cast, thank you for joining us. And I do appreciate it. And please enjoy your game. I love mahjong. It's great. I love playing mahjong. I just play the single player one, but I take it you're going to go and play a real on the board one.
All right. First card up is the Hierophant.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then the Seven of Swords, which, they're going to try and do whatever. But the hangman shows up. People's going to
Mhm.
look in the other directions and more different areas. The Page of Swords is at the bottom. So I think that they're going to get something in writing. I really don't remember what the question was, Chrissy. But
Is this decision going to affect the midterms?
oh,
High
yeah.
Spirit beyond the stars.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to, I believe it's going to be
In what way?
wrote. I think it's going to be for the good. I see the blue skies. I see the blue skies here. I see the blue skies here. And then the hairpin stepping in. And, you know, if they still try and take or whatever and do whatever, I think that I don't think there's going to be enough of them, because I believe that with the people or with the dude looking in the window with the hair front, I think that, you know, some of the Republicans are going to sit back. I believe that some of them will maybe even vote blue, you know, because they're going to be looking at it from a different direction.
I think a lot of them are going to vote independent, so that
Independent, maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
takes up the breaks up the Republican vote, so that, you know, the Democrats, they might not get 50% or 53%, but they get enough to take the seat because they've got the majority. High Spirits Beyond the Stars, how are you? So yeah, so that was the question. Now we've got the other thing I wanted to ask, and with the House of Reps and the Senators, are they going to institute a mandatory retirement age? I mean, Dianne Feinstein is, heaven knows how old. And, you know, I don't think they do this until Biden got another term. So, yeah, at the moment, if they tried to do it, I think it would get defeated.
right.
But Pelosi's husband is in a lot of trouble with the DUI charge. She's not addressing it, but, you know, he hasn't pulled the "do you know who I am" thing and tried to get out of it either. Well, he might have tried to get out of it, but couldn't. But yeah, I don't know if Pelosi will run again, but might have a look at that too. The Ace of Cups. This is a Knight of Swords. So I'm looking at retirement age. It'll cause chaos if they try to do it at the moment, and just overflowing chaos. This cup is like water's pouring everywhere. It'd be like turning the sprinkler system on in the Capitol building, and everybody running and flapping about. It would just create too much panic at the moment. But I do think it's something that will be addressed. Will it be addressed in the future? Will it be addressed in the future? And I'm talking about 2025 and stuff.
My first card up was Chariot. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done, honey.
No, that's all right. I've got, people will stand up, and this is also about the Seven of Wands. It's setting new boundaries, setting new limits. So that, to me, is a yes. Okay, you've got the Chariot.
Yeah, I got the Chariot, then the Five of Cups, which is the worry if they go ahead and do it now. You know, it's because they got to weigh it all out. The Ace of Wands comes in, and I believe that she's going to come in all fiery. And again, at the bottom is the Hierophant, and I believe that they will be looking at it later on, but not right now. They're afraid to scare people, I think.
Yeah. Now, I want to move on to SCOTUS now. Are they going to introduce term limits for SCOTUS? Let's have a look at that. I've got the Page of Pentacles. The opportunity is going to come up to bring it into the conversation properly. The King of Cups. This is something Biden is definitely going to be thinking about. Not so much. The other thing that I got going through my head when I was thinking about term limits. Yes, there's definitely going to be introduced, and they're going to, go in that direction. But the other thing is too, that they might have to prove their competency like every 5 years or something. Like they might only, depending on their age, they might have a 20-year term on the SCOTUS. But say if they're 50 or 55, they can go till they're 70 or 75, but then they have to retire or something. So I think they will introduce a retirement age for SCOTUS as well. But I just got this thing about proving competencies. Now, professionals, doctors have to prove their competencies at time. Even lawyers at times have to prove their competencies that can be called upon. So why can't these judges be called upon to prove their competency to continue in that role? So I'm just thinking, will they introduce competency, having to prove your competency and show proof of that, of professional learning and stuff? So will they introduce that? It just popped into my head that when I was thinking about term limits and having to prove their competencies, especially after a certain age. Got the Two of Wands came up, a bigger picture, looking out over the domain. It's Page of Rods, Page of Wands, talking in connection, and it's got the pyramids in the background, the connection of wisdom, having to talk and prove in order to remain in a trusted position. You might have to prove that you're competent to. So that would be an interesting thing to see if that happens in the future. What do you get on that?
The first card up, which actually had jumped out of the deck, was the Fool. So yeah. And then the next card up was the Five of Coins and the Page of Coins.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that some people's worried about it, but they really know that it really needs to be done. And I think they're going to try and really look into ways of trying to figure this up with the Four of Cups. And on the bottom is the King of Wands. So I believe that you are absolutely correct.
What about the having to prove competency?
Competency. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That it's going to be a journey for them. But I believe that it's a have-to thing, and I believe that the king, he's going to say, we got to do this, for our country, for the people.
Mm-hmm. Andy Biggs is accusing AOC and Maxine Waters of trying to start an interaction with their followers. What the hell is that? What does that mean even? With their followers. They're not cult leaders. They're representatives. And it's their interaction with the people that they represent. Yeah, that's a good thing if they're interacting with them.
Right.
That is not what was going on. They were out protesting. And they have the right to do that. Just because you're a representative doesn't mean you give up your right to protest. But yeah, I mean, oh God, Andy Biggs, just some of these people.
They're crazy.
Some of these characters tomorrow too. Probably, yeah. So mandatory retirement, term limits. There's 26 states with trigger laws. I'm just going to ask a quick question. Will all 26 states till at least midnight, babe?
Hi, Abby.
So will all 26 states introduce those laws immediately? So that's an interesting one to ask. I got two cards. I got the Chariot or momentum, or they're going to be racing, and then the world, a shift in their place in the world. So I'd say that's pretty much a yes. What did you get?
Oh, I thought that you wanted to look at that one. I'm sorry, I didn't even pull.
That's all right. So the 26 states, are they going to, put those laws in place immediately? And I've got a pretty big yes there.
Yeah, I think they're going in blind right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, 6 is yes. I believe that they need to.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Apparently, even some Republican governors don't really agree with this, but I know that wouldn't be that many, but there's a couple. I know that Kentucky has a Democratic governor. Now, the governors have the power to veto a law, don't they? That say, I'm not signing it. They do. And is the governor in Kentucky going to veto their trigger laws? So I don't know how any other states. Yeah. So, I mean, you're from Kentucky, aren't you?
I'm 10 minutes away from Kentucky. I'm in Ohio.
Yeah. But so will he refuse to sign the law? Will he veto it? You got your pendulum there.
Yes.
I've got 4 of swords, retirement, retreating from it. So that could be a yes.
I got a yes.
You got a yes. You think he's going to veto it and say, I'm not signing it? Nope, veto it.
Yeah. It was a small yes, but then it got a little bigger, but then it wound back down again. So I don't think, I think he might have a little fears about it, but I think that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. If some of the, and it'd be great if a couple of the Republican governors too, especially if they're not up for election this term, just drew some balls and said, I'm not signing this, I'm vetoing this. It'd be nice to see a couple of them do that too. I got the 4 of swords, him stepping back and saying, nah, not doing it.
Our governor just put it out there that it's okay for the teachers to carry guns. So that's what our Republican governor's doing.
Oh, yeah. The other thing is too, is SCOTUS, said that the state cannot issue gun control limits. It's not their right to do that. So have they shot themselves in the foot here? Pardon the pun. So we'll look at, New York State one where they said, no, and they said, no, you don't have the right to do that, to introduce those laws and those restrictions. And they weren't saying you couldn't have a concealed carry. They were just saying that you had to prove that you had good reason to get a concealed carry permit. So they weren't vetoing concealed carry completely. They were just saying you had to prove it, that you had a good reason for it. Is that decision of SCOTUS, is that going to, pardon the pun, shoot them in the foot? Because that could go back to the states and people saying in the states, oh, okay, so the state doesn't have the right to regulate or not regulate guns, to say what happens with guns. So is that going to shoot them in the foot? So let's have a look here. Oh, howling at the moon. This could actually be a bit of an iceberg for them, not realizing. So that's an interesting thing. The moon, La Luna, King of Rods, compassion, direction, energy, direct the energy back. Because the well-armed militias, of course, were originally the states getting their armies to fight the British. Page of Swords. I do still get that there's going to be some blowback from this, that it's like the gun lobbyists are going to get a bit of a surprise, because this argument can be turned. I'm not a lawyer, okay, guys? I'm not a lawyer, but it just seems to me that the state wanted to introduce this law, then that was taken to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, no, it's not in the state's power to say who can or cannot own a gun. They're not saying it's not about whether you can own a handgun or not. You can still own a handgun, but it was the concealed carry, whether you're allowed to carry it on your person, concealed on your person. And you had to have a good reason for that. It didn't say you couldn't have it in your home or whatever. So they're saying, but the states don't have a right to say whether they can carry them out and about or not. Well, is that saying that the states don't have a right to regulate guns at all? Or that, if you know what I mean, or not regulate guns? It's not up to the states to do that? So I don't know. I just feel like this could backfire on them. Another gun pun. Sorry, guys. The Fool. This could lead to, I don't know, just a very different. It just popped into my head. Could that actually send things down? Be a bit of a crossroads decision. 5 paces. Hello. Yeah. The exact opposites for women's rights. Yeah. How are you, 5 paces, and welcome. Yeah. So what do you think? Could it backfire on them, Melinda?
I believe it definitely could. And I know they yeah, and I think that they may be even worried about that, maybe, or they may be up in their head like, oh, we can do whatever, and they just believe whatever we say on whatever day that we say it. But
yeah. So it's like,
yeah,
the Ace of Swords. I was just flipping the cards, and the Ace of Swords came out, and yeah. Ron DeSantis has started picking on young adults and teenagers over their radios. He's having police hand out 150. I don't understand what that's about. Thank you for lurking. Yeah. Yeah. So this is like some truth. It could backfire on them, because it's like they're saying it's not the state's place. It's not the state's place to regulate or deregulate. That's what they're saying. It's not the state's place. So this could backfire on them. Will it?
you know what freaks me out is that well, a lot of things, but what really freaks me out is that I know, like, when I lived in Indiana and in here, especially back 10, 15, 20 years ago, a lot of people used to have shotguns right in the back of their window in their truck.
Yeah.
I guess because that could be for hunting.
Yeah.
Well, there's all kinds of hunting. Depends on the state of mind that a person's in, which all goes to what your questions are.
So what's this thing about the radios?
I don't know.
But what's the thing about the music they're playing, or what's this thing about the radios? Florida radios. What is he saying? They can't have certain Ron DeSantis. I'd love to. I'm so tempted to say some of the nicknames at times. I try not to, but sometimes it gets out. The Soros-backed buyout of. But what's this ticketing of teenagers? I just don't understand what this is about.
Is it because there's cussing in some of the songs?
About
Or
Yeah, what
out?
they're playing, I don't know. Buyers of this talk radio station promised journalistic and easy about the acquisition of conservative Miami Spanish language radio. Okay, it's something to do with the Spanish language radio. I don't know. It's
Maybe he's confused on what the music's saying, so he wants to put a law against it.
issuing Tallahassee. 3 appointments to the judges now. One, according to BNM's Piedmont, Rhonda sounds an awful lot like the one who's gearing up to be blah blah blah. I just don't get what Spirit Beyond the Stars. I'm sorry, I just don't get what that story is about. It just doesn't make any sense to me. He can't ticket people for having their radios on or whatever. I don't know. So yeah. Let's have a look at some of the justices. Thomas, he's got to go, and he will go. But the matter is when. Will he be able to hang on? I think he wants to hang in there till the midterms. Will he be able to? It's going to be touch and go for him, and I'm thinking, no. Let's have a look. Okay, Ron DeSantis has decided that young adults and teenagers will not be allowed to play their radio to where anyone else can hear it. If they do, they will get $115 ticket each time they do it. Oh, noise pollution. Yeah, he's using noise pollution. Look, we have things where, yeah, you can get ticketed on the trains if you're playing your radio loud and all that, and disturbing other passengers. You can get a ticket from it. He's just using that as an excuse to, that's just a stupid thing. And $115, it's excessive. You know, teenagers have, even with their headphones in, you can probably hear in the background. That's ridiculous. What did I ask? Oh, Thomas, I got the King of Swords, the prosecutor. And this is also a maybe card, a doubtful card if you're going yes, no, maybe. And I said, is he going to be able to make it to the midterms? And that's a big maybe. maybe not. 7 of Swords, having to face up to the consequences of your action, not being able to get away with things. I've got overindulgence. I got the 3 of Cups, but I didn't get support here. The word that came to mind was overindulgence. Overdoing things. He's still in trouble for not recusing himself too. That is will he have to resign before the midterms? I got the Hierophant. That's a maybe. So him getting to, it's possible he'll get there, but it's doubtful. And this is a big maybe too, because it's a major arcana. So, yep. What do you got, doll?
I got the Emperor, 4 of Cups, and 5 of Cups. and at the bottom's the Magician. So whether if he wants to or not, I think it's going to happen for him.
Yeah. I just looked on the bottom of my deck and I got the Six of Pentacles, the balancing of the scales. Really interesting.
Right.
Validate why you're there. You know, hi, Michelle Mabel.
Under the Magician is the Seven of Coins. So it's what he planted, you know. What he planted is what he's going to receive, you know.
Like that, what is it? An episode of The Muppets where Statler went backstage to meet Valerie Harper. He wanted to meet her, and he took an African quick-growing plant or something with him, and they watered it, and it just grew and grew and grew and took over all backstage. Yeah, his wife is that plant that's just going to grow and grow and grow and choke everything in sight.
Right.
Yeah. Like a nasty African quick-growing plant. An invasive species.
Right.
Yeah. So is he going to end up? It's okay. Ginny Thomas, how much trouble is she in?
No lots.
I could go, I dare, but I won't.
Balance. She's doing a whole lot of balancing right now.
Juggling, yeah. What do we got here? Oh, she's feeling embattled. She is feeling embattled and highly vigilant. On the bottom with the Queen of Cups with the lid of the chalice. Like she's drunk from the. It's interesting because she's drinking from the poison chalice. Yeah, she's in a lot of trouble. Let's see, is she going to end up indicted? Oh, quite possibly. I got the Emperor for the rule of law, not for Trump, but for the rule of law. Mm-hmm.
Funny, you're reading to mine. Okay, how I got the two of coins, right? And then I got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And then at the bottom, I got the Judgment.
You got the Judgment.
I mean, yeah, she's in all kinds of it.
She is in for a very nasty change in her future. Look what's coming up.
Very nasty change
in her future. This is a complete.
I don't think that's falling together.
Transformation for her. Her whole way of life is going to be transformed, and I don't think she's going to be prepared for what she's going to have to do. It will backfire on Republicans. Michelle, we did a reading earlier on that. So we can just ask that question just straight out. Michelle Mabel, I hope the Roe versus Wade decision backfires on the Republicans. We did a reading on the election, but let's just ask that straight out. Will it backfire on the Republicans? Hang on, I'll get a different deck. So we're getting a anxiety.
Yes.
Nightmares, hey?
And the Two of Wands, the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, and on the bottom, the Five of Coins. I believe that it's definitely going to backfire, and it's going to cause them a whole lot of stress. And they're going to look at things in a whole new direction, no matter how much hard work that they did or didn't do, because they didn't really do any very much hard work, except for moving a pen around from changing 50 years to go in reverse in a matter of seconds.
You know, the bulk of the readings tonight have been about Roe versus Wade, and in almost all the ones that address directly Roe versus Wade, the Queen of Cups has come up, and I asked, is Roe versus Wade going to backfire on the Republic? And here she is again, the Queen of Cups, the mother figure. Okay. King of Swords, prosecution. Six of Swords, a really rough transition. the Prince of Cups. This is the Knight of Cups. Not what it seems. This victory of theirs is not what it seems. It's not really a victory at all. And the Prince of Wands, absolute fiery energy and anger of the people. So yeah, it is. It is. Because this is the Queen. She's come up, the Queen of Cups, several different decks, several different readings. The Queen of Cups has come up so much tonight when we're talking about the Roe versus Wade decision. This is American women and women elsewhere too, you know, really, really angry. And yeah.
And if they're not angry about it, why aren't they angry about it?
I'm sorry?
If they're not angry about it, what's going on in their world of why they wouldn't be angry about that?
Oh, because some people just brought up to believe that, you know, that's their only role. And if they can't do that,
Barefoot and pregnant.
Their whole, they've been brought up to believe that their whole life is about being the mother, having the children, and being brought up with no sense of purpose beyond that. And it's like a lot of them, you know, so this comes about and it's like, well, my whole sense of purpose is being challenged and people don't like that either. Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look at Kavanaugh. And as you know, Thomas was investigated right back in the 90s about that sexual harassment claim. And so there was that, and they still got in. And Kavanaugh, the same sort of thing, allegations and all that. So we'll still say alleged claims, but I honestly believe Dr. Christine Ford.
Right.
But again, it's still just an allegation. That's
So proven.
What's going to happen? Kavanaugh. Four of Swords. That is retirement away from a scene. Illness too. It could be illness, but it's got truce written here. Truce on the top. Justice. Rebalancing of the scales. So going back into the background. Removing oneself from a situation. The King of Wands. Direction. That's yeah, when he came out at that thing and he was really angry, and Matt Damon took it all off on Saturday Night Live and gonna start at an 8 and move his way quickly up to an 11 or something like that. That fiery temper. Oh yeah, I've just got the King of Wands in reverse is a really horrible person, and this is like all the charm and everything is just falls away, and they just see a mean-spirited, horrible, manipulative person, and that's going to come out even more so. Power, Four of Pentacles, but really, you see, he's got the four towers around him, his sense of security, sitting there hugging his thing. So he's starting to feel a bit insecure for some reason. Why is he feeling insecure? A change is coming, an always destined change with the wheel. So why else is he feeling insecure? What is this change about? The Queen of Wands. Look at this. She's got that wand raised and she's going to whack it down. And, show her power. So that's interesting. What do you got about Kavanaugh?
Well, you got the 4 wands with the 7 of cups. So I think in his house he's delusional,
Yeah.
And then I got the Knight of Cups, which I see him as the doctor, the doctor card. So he may need some help, And then at the bottom of the deck I got the 5 of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
So Kavanaugh, I believe, is going out, but he's not going out. And the 9 of Wands is underneath the 5 of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's not going out quick enough, I don't think. And when he does, when he's gone, and then the 10 of Cups is up underneath that. So between our happy families and his own delusional happy families, there's thievery, looking other directions, and been in battle, doctor card. So yeah, I don't think Kavanaugh's going to be in service work, I'll call it, for too much longer.
Are the DOJ investigating him? Let's ask that question. They don't have to say whether they are or not. They don't have to say anything until they've got an indictment. 5 of Pentacles. Worry. He's worried. Yeah, he is worried. I think he is worried about it. So, Queen of Swords. Oh, that's the judge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
got the Ace of Swords.
Are investigating him. You've got what do you got there?
Ace of Swords.
Yeah, Ace of Cups. So much hidden underneath the lake. This has got, and I like this because it looks like the cup is sitting on a sheet of ice and the ice is cracking underneath it as the this ray of truth shoots out of, or is it shooting down into it? Interesting. I think they are actually actively investigating, and they don't have to say that. Defeat, the 5 of Swords. So he's worried about defeat.
Yeah.
I think they are investigating. Hello, Serena Mama Bear. And hi, Edna May, too.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm going to ask you, is he going to be indicted?
On that last one, I got also the 7 of Wands, Page of Swords, and the Magician. So I don't think he's going to be able to get up in the high enough ground. I really don't. And I think he's going to have to go another direction because that's for the American people wanting.
Yep.
9 of Wands.
I asked if he was going to be indicted, and I got the 2 of Wands, the strategy in play, and the devil. Pay the devil his due. Is he going to get... And strength. So a strong case. I wonder if his mate got his memory back.
Right. I got
if they were able
to
improve the calendars. His calendars. Gold. Yeah, I got a thought run through my head. I was watching Mel and Linda G, and I was watching them, and they were talking about some of the justices. This was a few weeks ago, and I was lying there, and they were just talking about Supreme Court justices, and a thought went through my head, and I think I mentioned it straight up, within a day, that Justice Roberts might go. And within like 5 to 10 seconds of me thinking that, Linda looked up and said to Mel, do you think Justice Roberts is going to go? And Mel said, yes. So I was like pretty blown away by that because I hadn't seen it before. So, and just felt odd that I had that thought and then those two came out with it. But let's have a look at Justice Roberts. I just, I was lying on my lounge and I thought Justice Roberts is going to go. And yeah. So then it was a couple of months back now. But is Justice Roberts going to go?
On that last one, I got the 2 of Wands, and you got the 2 of Wands.
Yep. I got
the Sun.
Yep.
Then I got the Ace of Cups, and on the bottom the Lovers. Right.
Wow.
Right.
The Sun can be exposure too, and wow. So let's have a look
He'll
at
get sunburn on his butt.
Yeah. But yeah, I can remember that because I was like, what the hell? Because they were just talking about the justices, and then I thought he's going to go next. And then Linda G asked exactly the same question that went, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I was really surprised. So, because he seems like pretty solid. But what is in the cards for Justice Roberts?
Justice Roberts. I've been the last few days, and I'm just going to put it out there because it's been sitting in my head every now and again. It'll come up. I've been really thinking about Pelosi and but yeah, I'm just going to say that. Okay, now what's the question? I'm so sorry.
Justice Roberts, what's in the future for him?
Justice Roberts.
Ooh. Oh. Ruddy Nora. Ruddy Nora, if you don't know what that means, it's a holy Nora. It's a slang term for for having it off.
Well, just for you saying that, this female dog right here, and I know it was her because she's right there. Usually it's him. Wow, did she just let one off?
No, not a fart. An activity that takes place between, when a boy and a girl really like each other.
Right.
Nora is. It's a slang term for that.
I call that boinking.
So I went Ruddy Nora. Boinking. Yeah, it's a slang term for boinking. But anyway, the first card that came out was the Ten of Swords, and the key word on this card is ruin. I'm thinking, geez, what's going on? So then I drew another card and I got the worry card again, the Five of Pentacles, the worry. So there is some worry happening with him. Then I got the Queen of Swords. And it's like a woman. For this is Congress, but Kavanaugh got the same thing. He got the same card too, didn't he? And then I got the World card, or universe as it is in there. A change in his place in the world. Then I've got Biden. And Biden, what's he going to do? Is he going to replace, have to fill another vacancy? So is Biden going to have to fill a vacancy? And we've got abundance, Three of Cups. So for some reason, the cards are saying he's going. he's
Yeah.
going. So that would be interesting. What have you got, my darling?
I got the Knight of Cups, which again, that's my doctor card. And then 3 of Wands, which is going to be looking out for, trying to look out for a ship or whatever. But then I got the worry card, 8 of Swords, and then the 9 of Coins. So I don't know exactly what to make of all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he's yeah. I don't really want to say what's inside of my head right now.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. So I know that if a vacancy came up between now and the midterms, McConnell would try and pull up. Oh, you can't.
Right.
You can't do this in an election year. And you know what's going to come back? Oh, well, look at this. Like a month before the election, 2020, you put in Amy Coney Barrett. You only waited for 5 days after RBG died. How indecent are
Right.
you? You know?
Right.
And, yeah, so that is definitely, yeah. Are they worried about the out of? Yeah, they are. Are they going to be? The other question I want to ask, and I know it's something I've said heaps of times over the last couple of years, is there has to be a grassroots shake-up down at the local level with,
Boots on the ground.
civic positions, whether it's mayors, whether it's DAs or judges or whatever down in the civic area. There has to be a grassroots shake-up to get some of these people out. Is this year, is that going to see a grassroots shake-up to get rid of some of the conservatives that have really, in a lot of places, just latched hold of all these local positions, like the county clerks and all these sorts of things? Is there going to be a shake-up and a cleaning of the house at a grassroots level this year? Yeah, things like sheriffs and all that. Oh, Arredondo's going to go to prison. I just got Arredondo, and then I go, he's going to go, yeah. Oh, I don't know why I said that, but.
Did I say that out loud?
He's on leave. No need to explain who Arredondo was. He was negligent. He was criminally negligent. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. So is there going to be a shake-up at a grassroots level in America this year? Oh, the Ace of Cups with the cracking of the ice underneath. That's just, for me, that particular card, that's like, is that been sitting there firmly on the ice, but the ice is really, really thin. Global warming's getting to it, and it's cracking. And like the whole cup, the whole stone cup, and that's a heavy cup, is all going to just fall through. And, the Empress, this is the American voters. For me, always, when we talk about elections in the US, is the will of the people. And change. 2 of Pentacles, a change at the grassroots level. So I think all in all, that says yes. So
yeah. I got the King of Cups, the love of the people. Got the Page of Swords, which, yeah. And then the Chariot. And so I think that is definitely on movement. And then on the bottom of that card, I got the Temperance. There's got to be some balance. There's got to be a shift. There just does.
Some of these idiots are running for school boards and all that sort of thing. So that's
down
to that level. It's all going to be shaken out. And the people who are just not fit to hold these offices. Have to be, you know, and yeah. You know how you don't even have to be a lawyer to run for a judge in some of these states. To run for judge, to be a judge. Are they going to change the laws for that? I wonder if that's going to be interesting because, you know, yeah, apparently a lot of judges, because they're elected, of course. So
And now you get elected, the more money's in your pocket, the more
Yeah.
you could throw out there. Yeah.
So, you know how we were looking at SCOTUS and are they going to have to prove their competency as a judge? Well, will they introduce measures like this even right down to judges, right down at the local magistrate level and all that? Will there be laws introduced for judges to have to prove their competency before they're sworn in and continue to prove their competency so if they've got a term and have to prove their competency, before they can take up their new term. Will that be applied all down the line, right down to your local judge? Whoa! What do you got?
You got?
I'm going to teach you. I'm not telling you yet. I haven't finished the card.
Right? I got the 7 of coins, Queen of cups, Ace of swords, and the High Priestess at the bottom. So yeah,
That's a what?
I got the High Priestess at the bottom. So
Yeah.
I believe that I believe that it might take a little bit of time to get all the way to the root, but definitely should and needs to be done.
Okay. I'm going to go backwards here. The last card I drew out was Indolence, which is just, I'll have to, Indolence. I'm just going to look up the word. I sort of think I know what I mean, but I want to make sure I've got it right. Indolence. Okay. Avoidance of activity or execution or exertion, laziness. Yeah. Walk away. So there, okay. Then the second last card I drew was the Two of Wands and Dominion and walking through a wall of fire. You know, what do they call it? Trial by fire or whatever. The second card I drew was the Devil. And people, you know, the devil's there. He's got people buried beneath him and he's pulling the strings. So, but it's like cracks appearing in the clay that's holding these people here. Now, the first card I drew was the Tower, a shake-up and insights. Penetrating insights and a complete shake-up. What I'm getting here is that, yes, there could be moves to say you have to prove your competency, which will be a complete shake-up and all the way down. They might even have to take an exam if they're not lawyers and stuff. This could be cracking the foundations for a lot of people who are in those positions because they bought their way in or whatever. So freeing the people of the devil of this, you know, being able to pay off your judge, get it into position. Trial by fire, having to prove your competency. That's this one. And then there's a lot of people who just go, I'm too lazy to do this, so I'm just going to resign and walk away. I'm not going to do it.
Right. Ah,
Now, we've got two major arcanas here. It's going to take a while, but it will happen. Mhm.
my thought when you said that was that being a truck driver, right? Before, when it went from anybody, whatever, could be a truck driver, you know, that they was going to have to get their CDLs. And the ones that had been driving for so long, they was going to be grandfathered in, right? Where they wouldn't have to take the test.
Mhm.
Well, even if even if a truck driver, you know, has to take a certain test, not just a driving mobility test. I mean, this is everything, you know, the CDLs, it's everything. And
Yeah.
if a truck driver has to, why doesn't the person that's sitting up there representing you,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your truck drivers have to prove yourself and get tested every few years. Why the hell can't judges be tested
Right?
every year and prove that they're competent in the job and stuff? And yeah, if Manchin really believes that, then he should remove the filibuster and allow a real law to maintain women's rights. Yeah, because Manchin's the one who's blocking getting rid of the filibuster, isn't he? Yeah.
Right.
Is Manchin going to? Because you vote on getting rid of the filibuster for each on certain things, don't you? You can't just get rid of it entirely. It's got to be voted
I don't
on.
have no idea.
Will Manchin vote to get rid of the filibuster so that these laws can be codified? What's that? That's a
10 of
10.
Swords.
No.
He's gonna feel like
No, he won't, because he wants to hang on. He won't, because
right.
he wants to hang on to his seat, and so he's too insecure to do it.
Yeah. And then the
Completion.
9 of Cups.
Yeah.
And then him coming out of the cave. Yeah.
Mm.
And on the bottom's the moon.
Yeah. Howling at the moon.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And on that 10 of Swords, there is absolutely not one drop of blood. So he's like,
Yeah.
I could still do it. I can, you know, there's no blood yet.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it's just, yeah, yeah, I just feel like it's going to be like sooner than we expect, the change of the balance in the Supreme Court. And
I
I
think
don't
it's
know why
when
I'm in
they
another
hold
country.
both,
But
when they hold both the house and the house and the seats or the represent whatever it's called. I don't know these things. I'm kind of glad that I don't. Everything's a cold call to me because I don't know what I'm talking about. All I can do is read the cards.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And but yeah.
yeah. Michelle Mabella said the filibuster can be removed for only one vote, so it's a case by case process.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a case by case thing. So he's not going to, but because he wants to keep his seat, and it's like, well, you know, there's going to be enough Democrats get into the Senate that they can counteract him. He just, you know, he's not going to hold that balance of power anymore.
Yeah.
Did you guys see where bobblehead Bobbitt got evicted from her restaurant in Colorado? Yes, I heard about that.
What?
The owner said he had a moral obligation to get them out of his property. She had underage were wearing loaded guns.
the holsters, maybe they was wearing holsters with loaded guns.
don't
Underage.
know. Yeah. I'd say she's got underage people. Oh, yeah. She's in a lot of legal trouble. Lauren Boebert, how much legal trouble is she in? There's so much more going to come out about her, Ted Cruz, and other people.
Oh yeah.
It's Lauren Boebert going to make Heidi Fleiss look like a nun.
When you said that, all I see was that bobblehead going up and down.
Corruption, money for men. That's a yes. King of Pentacles. Heidi Fleiss, of course, was the Hollywood madam. Truce, Four of Swords. Wanting to keep things in the background, and people are going to back away from her like she's.
Yeah.
They're going to try and escape from her. Like they're in an elevator and she's farted in an elevator, and they're going to try and back up and try and get away, but they're not going to be able to because they're trapped in the elevator with her. Oh, she's got worry. Here's that Five of Pentacles card again, worry. And she's going to think, how did I get here? How did I get here? King of Swords, says the prosecution. Yep. Hi, Charlene Dean. How are you, my dear? Thank you for joining us. You're right near the end. I only got about another 15 minutes, but if you've got a question, we've been looking at the Roe versus Wade. This is what this has mostly been about tonight. And so if anyone's got a couple of last questions about that we can look at, we've looked at all sorts of things from that. So I've got an itchy nose. Sorry, guys. Hang on.
I got 3 direction cards. You know, the Page of Wands, 2 of Wands, 6 of Swords, and at the bottom of the deck, the Judgment.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Mm.
Let's see, what was under Judgment? Okay.
Mm. Yeah, so if anyone got any last couple of questions to ask before I wrap it up for the evening? Well, the day for you guys. It's evening. It's almost midnight. So I thought this was really, really important. And, you know, and yeah, lots of people have been doing lots of readings on it over the last day or so. Yeah, so...
While you're waiting on a question, can I throw in a shameless plug?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah. Last night, my youngest sister, a lot of you guys have seen her on here, right?
Yeah.
Last night, her and Michelle and Jay and myself was all on Jay's channel. And
Okay.
so it was her debut. So if anybody wants to check her out, you know, she did a really, really good job. So yeah, I'm proud of her. So if anybody wants to check out Jay's channel,
I would have been happy to have her on here tonight too. So yeah, yeah, so being good. How is Beto looking? Let's have a look. I'll get a different deck out now.
Beto.
Beto. Beto rocks in his punk rock band.
Right.
You seen pictures of him from his band days when he was in the punk band? God. Oh, how is Beto looking? Pretty fine.
Okay, now Beto. I'm picturing Beetlejuice when you do that. So Who's Beto?
Beto O'Rourke in Texas.
Beto O'Rourke,
He's running for governor of Texas against Abbott.
governor of Texas. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's getting in.
Oh, yeah. Page of Swords. He's a terrier. And you see this is the Vanessa deck, so it's all women. But, yeah, he's a terrier.
Mm.
That enthusiasm. The Empress. This is the vote. The vote for him. Hi, Randy Baker. The High Priestess. These women. Oh, there's a lot of secret passions for Beto. I think there's going to be Republican women voting for him too. And the Hierophant taking over the institutions. He's going to win.
Yeah.
He's going to win.
My first card is the Queen of Coins, which I call her the Queen of Love.
Mm-hmm.
And with your song, I'm sure that's quite right. And I pictured a muscle shirt. But yeah. And then the next card is the Justice card, which yeah, you know, it's got the lovers on the scales there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I also got the Hierophant, and then on the bottom I got the 10 of coins. So I believe that, yeah, most definitely. And then and that's what I heard, you know. And I'm telling you, even though he's a dude, now I have 5 sons, so I have nothing against men. Trust and believe, I do not. Okay, I noticed every little rib. You know how the muscle shirts are, and it's got these little ribs. I noticed every line. I'm telling you.
Oh no, I've seen a picture of him from his punk days, and he's got even better than muscles. He's got a pirate shirt on it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's even better, right?
JFK into the White House. Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to do now
almost looks like his outfit.
Yep. The Hierophant again. Yep. I got the Hierophant too. What I'm going to do is to wrap it up is thank you, Melinda, very much. But I'm going to grab some oracle cards now, and I'm going to draw 3 cards on how America can move on into start healing and getting into a good place to fight back. So I'm just going to grab a deck, and not quite sure which one yet, so I have to have a look.
Okay.
I've got stuff all over the place here. Goddess Dream Oracle by Wendy Andrew. So I'm going to draw 3 cards. If you'd like to draw 3 cards, and we're going to look at how to start healing and progressing towards a better outcome for people's whose rights are being trampled on, not just women's rights, but the threat to gay rights and all that. So how we can grab the energy and use it to help heal, because there's going to be so much damage from this in the short term as well. So to heal from the short-term damage and to help protect, bring protective energy to your country, and then build up the strength to keep fighting. So I'm going to draw 3 cards on that. So how to heal, how to protect, and how to fight. Okay. So how to heal. Card number 30, love yourself. Okay. So I'm going to grab the book. This is card number 30. And again, this is from the Goddess Dream Oracle by Wendy Andrew. Got to get the book out. So how to heal, self-love. You do have to look after yourself. Getting so stressed out and getting so upset that it's hard for you to, you can wear yourself out, and so you have to take care of yourself and rein yourself in. But it says the affirmation is, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. And it's, the wild creatures of this earth are not bound by concerns about what others think. Okay. And you were created as a being who is as individual and wonderful as each of the creatures in the world. Accept yourself just as you are. I'm not going to read the whole lot because it'll take way too long. There are many valuable lessons that our fellow beings may gift you if you are ready to learn. Learn how to look after yourself, my darlings. Okay. Yeah. And don't feel, look after yourself, because if you keep yourself well and if you're in a position where you're really directly affected by this, looking after yourself will help you get through and hopefully be able to heal. But this is not more than just healing on an individual level. It's healing across the country. So love your country and show the love for your country by showing your support for others. Okay, protect is, we've got connection. How to protect is connection. To me, that is talking to others, connecting with others. Meditations, and that can help protect yourself. Send comfort to those fellow beings who are sorrowful and smile with those who are happy. We are all connected. We breathe the same air. So you can protect people by sending comfort out to them and saying, I'm here for you. I will help you how I can. And also by using your voices and your feet, and get out and connect. The other thing you can do is get out and connect and get people to register to vote and all that. Work on that. That protects you. That protects your whole country. And how to move forward is rhythm. Tune into the natural rhythm of life. There's a hum. There's going to be an increasing hum going through your country of, an increasing drumbeat in the background. Follow it. That's about all. Follow it. Move forward. Follow the noise of the drumbeat. And it's going to end up in the voting office, in the voting booths and everything. Follow that drumbeat right to the voting booths, and you'll be able to move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I am a vital part of all creation, and that includes your right to vote. Tune into that drumbeat. Okay.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely, Chrissy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't mean to cut into you. I didn't.
Hmm.
If I would have meant to, it would have been more noticeable.
If you were what?
I started to talk.
Don't worry about that.
Don't
Don't worry about that. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay too. So, I get a slight delay with you. You might get a slight delay with me. It's all right. So, are you got anything to? Did you
I
draw anything?
do.
Okay. Yep.
The first card that that popped out is the surrender card. You know,
Mhm.
it's and I'm a firm believer in just allowing yourself to just let go, you know. And yes, do we gotta fight? Yes. But when we surrender, you know, I believe that our health and our well-being is gonna just feel so much better, you know. And then I got the romance card. And I
Okay.
know that I was watching Debbie and Linda got on there and all a bunch of them, but how they were saying something about, you know, about the sheets and being romantic between the sheets. But I
Mhm.
think it's more than that. I think that if we romance ourselves, the love, the well-being of ourselves, you know, we might be able to surrender a whole lot easier. And this is the it's a new beginning
Yep.
for everything, for everything. It's just a new beginning. It's just a new beginning. And man, look at that sand. It almost looks like glass,
Yes.
you know. And what I just heard from that is, if the sand looks like glass, it must be the atomic bomb smacked down on top of it, which is us women. And there's a woman walking on that, on
Ah.
the, you know. And so I think that we're going to take the power back. And
Mhm.
on the bottom of the deck is liberation. And I
Yep.
feel like we are going to feel so liberated. We're going to look at that eagle, she just flying, you know, just up by all the light and the stars and
Mhm.
and enlightenment. It's just, I think that we're going to feel so. And then underneath that, I shouldn't, I did, but it's evolution, you know. And
Okay.
that is, it's evolution
Mhm.
for humankind. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I mean, that's
Yep.
a yellow diamond that I just
Yep.
noticed that after all the times I've pulled that card.
Well, it
But
was
I believe
interesting.
that if we surrender, but I do want to put this on there too. I seen Roland. She, you know, said something about her heart being broken. She was there, 2,000 plus people, and so then I just needed to pull this card, and this is from the universe has your back, and it says there is a stream of love supporting my dreams.
Mm.
You know, and
Yes.
every
Mhm.
every single person is like a little drop, and every all the drops put together is a creek and then a river and then the ocean. You know what I mean? And I don't
One.
know.
Yep. One thing, it was interesting, that first card you pulled was acceptance, and part of the self-love card is accepting the acceptance of being yourself and comfortable within your own skin. But also, it's also about accepting what it is at the moment, you know, accept that,
Surrender.
okay, this has happened. This is the situation now. Stop fighting to stop it happening. It's happened. So you can accept that. And there you've got a point that you can move on to help
Yes.
start the healing with the connection to start protecting and following the drumbeat. So, yeah, acceptance is a big part of being able to then move on and do what has to be done to change what is not right.
Yes.
Accepting that, don't deny, not denying that it's happened is not going to change it. So you have to accept that it's happened and then look at how you can change things in the future. Um, you know, you don't have to accept that it's going to stay that way, but you have to accept that it's happened, and you
Yeah.
can't
Nothing stays the same.
start healing from an event unless you have accepted that it's happened. So yeah.
Right.
Okay, my darling.
That
Thank you
was
so
beautiful, Tracy.
much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And thank you, my darlings. I will be back tomorrow. Might be a little bit later in the day. Normally I start off at about 9, but I might start at like 10 o'clock tomorrow. So, which is 10 p.m. Eastern time in the US. A bit late, I know, my darlings, but you know, I've been up late tonight. So anyway,
It's all
thank you for
good.
joining me. We'll talk to you all tomorrow, and I love you all. So stay happy, stay healthy, stay loving, stay strong, and stay powerful. And
Yeah.
as Justice Sotomayor said after she addressed people like yesterday or something, let's fight. Okay, so
Yes.
sending my energy and my love to you guys, so you can fight. Okay, and we can fight over here by saying to our elected officials, this is not good enough. This is wrong. Say something. You know, there's ways you can. You know. So anyway, thank you, my darlings, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Bye bye. Thanks.